Okay, so in the last lesson, we started off with, I gave you a point. No more.
What?
No more. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Are you serious? Is this the right packet?
Well, okay, yes. I'm giving a refresher on the previous lesson. Okay, this is a refresher. Okay, this is not in your notes. I'll come back to the notes. Okay, all right. So what we were doing. Okay, no more interrupting. Getting my binder out to take off participation points.
I remember this.
Okay, so first we want to identify what is x, what is y, and the slope that is m. Okay, so our first goal was to figure out what was b. So I would replace 3 with the y, right? So y is 3. We would replace the m with a half. X is a -2. And then we always have that plus b because I have to figure out what b is going to equal. Okay, now we're going to do multiplying here.
You just do a half of.
So half of -2 is just -1. And then I'm going to add 1 to figure out what b is. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to leave y. And I'm just going to put in m and b. So m was a half. X plus b, well, b was 4. And then this was my final answer. Okay, so we substituted in x and y and m, solved for b, and then just rewrote the equation.
One thing I don't get, if it's plus b, wouldn't you do -1 instead of +1?
Well, what do you
do the
mean here?
opposite, right?
This is a -1, so you have to add 1 to get rid of that.
So
Okay.
Take a negative, so with the positive one, you
Subtract 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to follow the steps. There's one additional piece of information.
Wait, what?
Don't look at him. One additional step, and that is we have to find the slope first because I'm going to give you 2 points. Okay? Now, slope is m, which is y2 minus y1
Oh, I remember this.
over x2 minus x1.
I remember this from the algebra.
Okay. Well, we also did it in chapter 3. We did it in the last semester.
We did a 3 minus 3 and then a 2 minus 1.
Wait,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. x1, y1. x1, y1, x2, y2. So I want to do y2 minus y1.
I see you so I can see.
Yeah. Over x2 minus x1. Okay, that's just the formula.
Wait. Sorry.
So step 1 is we have to find the slope because if you're going to do slope-intercept form, what's the first part of the word? Slope.
So it's
Okay.
-3 minus.
Okay, so I'm going to put in -3. Okay. Let me explain because there's people that are going to be watching the recording. So for this part of the lesson, let's not all call out. You can think it in your mind, okay, and confirm it with what I write down. So here, -3 minus 3, 2 minus
2 plus
-1. So I'm going to have a -6. And yes, that's going to be minus a negative, makes it a +3. So m is equal to -2. I probably should have made some more room for you guys here.
That's the answer?
No, okay, so
Oh.
I know these are longer than yesterday, but that's okay. There's only 4 examples, and then we have one more example on the back. So we'll have a lot of time to start the homework. Okay. Now we go back to y equals mx plus b. I now know what m is, but I don't know what b is. Okay? I got to figure out what b is.
You have yn.
Now, when it comes to X and Y. I have two X and Y's. Just pick one of them to work with, okay? It doesn't matter. For this one, I'm going to use -1, 3, but you can use the other point. We should get the same answer. Okay, so for Y, Y1 is the same thing as the Y value. So I'm going to put in a 3.
Do you want us, when we enter this, to circle what we chose?
You don't need to. I'll be able to look at your work. So M is -2 times X, which is -1 plus B. Okay? So I'm using M is -2. I'm using -1, 3 to put in for X and Y.
Equals 1.
And let's see. So I have 3 equals, this could be a +2 plus B. So this was, Aaron, you were asking if it's just a 2. We're going to put a -2.
Y equals 2x plus b. I mean, y equals -2x.
All right. So yeah, now the last step is I'm going to put it all together. Y equals -2x plus 1, because I want to go back to this equation and I want to place -2 where the M is, and I want to put +1 where the B is. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so let's try another one. Okay, M equals, okay, so I want to do Y2 minus Y1. So that's going to be 4 minus 0 over, okay, in the bottom it's going to be -3 minus 6.
This is so confusing.
Okay, but slope should be familiar because we did this back in chapter 3.
Yeah.
So we're just doing Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus 1. So
4 over -9.
So 4 over -9. Okay, kind of a weird number. Yeah.
Is it okay if I can just solve it to make sure that I know this? Just like make sure I have an understanding of this if I like solve one problem. No, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but
make
let
stuff.
me do a couple examples first. I've only done one example, so give me time to at least explain a couple of them. And also we're going to be able to start the homework, so you can also help me when we get to the homework.
This is all we're learning today? Okay.
We just have one word problem, but it's going to be same as like this stuff.
Are we not having word problems in the quiz? Please no.
Okay.
Alright,
All right, which number looks easier to use, 60 or -3 4?
6-0.
I always like the one if it has a 0. So 0 equals, M is -4/9 times 6 plus B.
It's -4/9. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's the negatives in the bottom, but usually I like to just put it in the top.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's
Okay, so I'm going to put this over 1. So that's going to be -24/9
Definitely not 0.
plus B.
I don't think I learned this.
Yeah, this is very confusing.
Plus
This is not the same thing
This
I
is
learned
easy.
from last, from like the first
I got
semester.
-8 over
multiply
3.
-4 times
Well, I
6.
mean, it would have been 0 undefined.
Okay, if I divide the top and the bottom by 3, this is going to be reduced to -8/3.
I think my calculator is
It's
like
not 0.
wrong because
No.
I did -4 over 9 times 6.
And what'd you get?
-8 over 3.
I-
Oh.
So
okay,
when
it
you
was
first
right.
multiply it, if you have your calculator, great, because what's nice about the calculator is it's going to reduce it for you at the
Okay.
same time.
I was like,
So,
I think so.
I divided the top and the bottom by 3, so later. But yeah, you can do it like that, Rachel. And then we're going to add 8/3.
And so there's no B.
Well, 8/3 is our value of B.
So
I think
So now we're going to write the last thing. Just a minute.
Y.
Y equals -4/9 X plus 8/3. Again, we only did the slope in the first semester. We did Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. The new stuff is finding out what B is
Finding
equal
that, then
to.
you're doing
Can
all
we
of
try
it.
And
to
then-
do one of the problems by ourselves? The number C.
Yeah, can we do C?
You wanna
Isn't that
try
just
C?
like We're doing what we did earlier,
Because
and then
it's
you're
like,
going.
it looks pretty easy.
Alright, everybody do like
Okay,
the
everybody, I'm going to freeze the screen.
I don't know.
Do the second one. Do the
Where's-
second.
Can I go
X, Y.
to the bathroom, this case?
You can't wait until we're done?
I can wait.
Because otherwise it's becoming too much of a pattern, so I am marking down when you guys go during class time.
I've only been once this whole
I know.
semester.
It's up to you. If you go after instruction, it won't.
Okay, then I'll wait.
Okay. We only have 5 examples. We already did 2 of them.
Wait, so what happens if you have a 0 over a number?
We don't have a 0.
This case is
What?
this, right?
7.
Oh.
My question.
Because it's 7 minus 0, 0 minus negative 5 in the bottom.
What?
Plug it into the formula. y2 minus y1.
That's what I did.
No, you in the denominator you didn't.
Oh, I have the answer.
I think I did the.
Wait, tell me what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did the wrong.
Do 7 minus 0 and then 0 minus negative.
Can I show you the answer in this case?
No, please don't.
No. He's just showing it to me on.
Okay, 7.
Okay, I'm just going to show you the
You're
slope.
We're doing what we did earlier, and then
Oh, wait, I think-
and then you're doing
Oh, wait,
what we
it's
did
this.
for homework.
Okay,
It's
you
this.
can. That's just the slope.
So you're doing what we did earlier in the semester, and then you're adding like what we did for homework. Yeah. So
Why-
you're finding out a missing
This case, I don't
part of the homework.
Okay,
This
so
case, I have a question.
once you get to the slope, now figure out what b is, and then write the equation. Just write it down.
Wait.
Write it down.
What do I do?
What's the next step say?
I'm very confused with cases. So I do.
Did you find the
Wait, I'm
slope
low-key
first?
confused too.
Did you find the slope first?
Now
I
you
just
use
found
y.
out.
Now you just use y equals mx plus b.
Okay, so
Wait, what's B?
You have to solve for b. Once
Oh.
you
Okay.
plug everything in.
I need to figure out, right? I have m. I need to figure out what b is. So using y equals mx plus b. Now, does it matter which point you use? Do you want to use the first or the second?
Second.
Okay, we can use the second this time. So 7 equals, so I'm using 7 for y. Jacob, maybe if you paid attention, you would know what we're doing next. Are you writing this down?
That's what I put.
Oh, dang.
7/5
I put 7 over 5.
Times 0.
Yeah, I-
times 0 plus b.
So you,
Okay.
But for the y, or actually just choose a number either or, right?
Correct. It doesn't matter. I could pick this point or this point. I should get the same answer either way.
Wait, I kind of did it wrong, but I still got the same answer.
Yeah,
So it should be y equals 7/5 x
Plus 7.
plus 7.
I accidentally did 0 minus 5 instead of 0 minus 5, and I still got B equals 7.
Did you do 0 minus 7 on the top maybe?
No, I got the right answer.
Oh, because if you just had 0 minus 5, that would be a negative on the bottom. So you probably just need to,
Yeah, I did that, but it still worked out. Like it's still.
I know, but you got to make sure you get a positive on the bottom. It's okay. I can come look. It's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Either way, I got the right answer. So.
Okay. We got one more of these.
Can we do another one by ourselves?
Let's try this on your own. Let's figure out what m
Wait,
is.
which one should we do?
4 minus.
Well, first you got to find the slope using both
4
of them.
minus negative 6.
Where were you gonna start?
Yeah, do this one by your. Didn't I freeze the
Negative
screen?
2
Yeah.
minus 2.
Aaron, please don't.
Okay, shh. Okay, once you get the slope, I can confirm. What you
Alright,
got.
here, will you confirm?
So what do I do for?
So
Wait,
do y2
can you
minus
confirm
y1.
one, please?
Over x2 minus x1. Okay, can you
Okay,
reduce
got
that?
it.
That's good. Okay.
Wait, I got this. I can simplify it. Right?
Yeah, and your calculator, if you
Should
take
be
your
good.
time. Okay, now put it in.
Is this
Reduce it.
Is N?
I don't know how to do that.
Reduce.
Here, is N.
Divide the top and the bottom by 2.
Oh. That's my answer.
What is,
That's just this- what she
I'll
got.
do with the
10 over
Slope.
negative 4.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This case is very hard. Oh, 1%.
Jacob, sit
He's
down.
helping me.
I'm gonna help him to.
Start one.
That's
That's
10.
better.
Because don't forget 4 minus.
I figured I knew I was something wrong. Okay, so I'm very confused.
Okay, Did you get 10 over negative 4?
Or Miss Kate.
2, 6, right?
No. First you have to do y2. Oh, I just realized I wrote this down wrong. Okay, you have to do y2 minus y1. So it should be 4 minus negative 6. In the bottom, it should be negative 2 minus 2. So here's what you have to remember. When you're subtracting, you're doing 4 minus negative 6. And then you're doing negative 2 minus 2. It's like, do you see that? 4 minus this one, negative 2 minus. Okay, now we're not done. What's the next step?
Can you do the second one? Then you have to plug in. So then
Okay, pick which point you want to
I
use.
did the negative 2. I did the negative 6 and 2.
Don't care.
I did negative
Write it down.
2 and 4 as well.
So wait, what do I write down?
4 equals negative 5 over 2.
Wait, you get the same answer if you.
It doesn't matter. We should all get the same final answer.
I just got 5.
Okay, what happens here?
I got 4.
The 2 goes, yeah, so this would really be a negative 1. So 4 equals 5 plus b.
So b equals negative 1. Why would it be 5? Because it just cross
Is that it?
And then y equals negative 5 over 2x minus 1.
Y equals negative 5 over 2x minus 1.
That's it?
Alright, let's get the homework.
We have
Wait, what?
Homework.
I thought it was
Fun
y
homework.
y minus y.
It is. For here?
Uh-huh.
4 minus negative 6. Negative 2 minus 2. Okay, we have one more last example.
Ethan's my brother.
I know this.
Ethan knew.
Yeah, and then go.
Okay. All right, as a part-time job, Ethan makes deliveries for a caterer. In addition to his weekly salary, he is also paid $16 per delivery.
Go back to 1 second.
Last week, he made 5 deliveries and his total salary is $215. Write a linear equation to find Ethan's total weekly salary if he makes D deliveries.
D delivery.
D deliveries.
So
Come back.
instead of y equals mx plus b, we're using s equals m
That's very easy.
d plus b.
Can I do it on a?
Okay, but let's talk first. Okay. Can we identify a slope here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first, if you do
What's the
16
slope?
times 5. What's
Per
16 times
delivery. Whenever you say like per, we think slope. So $16. Well, we have very
It's way
few.
easier than like the-
150.
Well, we have a word problem on our test. But
Yeah.
155.
Word problems are way easier.
No, it's 105.
Okay.
We have a word problem on our quiz.
Maybe, but if we do, we'll do one very, very similar in the practice.
Oh, can you make it a bonus?
I
It's
literally had my
65.
last
It's
piece.
80.
Okay.
It's 80.
Alright, let's
Guys.
I might walk you
almost
back.
done. I'm almost done.
Okay. Total salary was $215 if he made 5
$135.
deliveries. So we're saying when D equals 5 and S equals 215, I want to figure out what is the B equal. Okay? So this is
135. Is it 135?
okay, well let's see. Can't just throw out an answer. I need to see supporting work.
I did. Okay, so
Okay.
first you do 16
215
times 5, and then you get 80 for
equals 16 times 5 plus B.
D is 80.
Well, 16 times 5 is 80.
Yeah, that's how much he made with the deliveries
So I'm going to subtract 80 from both sides.
from 215, and then you get 135 equals B.
Okay, now I want to finish this out by writing an equation. So S equals,
S equals,
what was M?
16.
16.
X.
D, well, we're using D instead of the X,
16D
plus
plus 135.
35. Good.